Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Reenie and this is the Enchanted Planner. Today I've pulled out colorful boxes, my DIY letters book, some dot grid paper and some seasonal sticker books along with some washi. Today we are making a planner insert for my classic vertical catch-all. At this time of year I like to start out with the old and preparing for in with the new early. So we have just under 8 weeks until Christmas, and I really need to declutter. I declutter on a fairly regular basis, but there's always that stuff that never gets touched or only gets touched once a year to actually go through and look through. And those are things like the clothes in your closets from last season and things that are hiding out in your laundry room cupboards and stuff that's tucked away in your not your Christmas cupboards, your kitchen cupboards, which usually relates to, in my case anyways, it usually relates to Christmas serving platters and that type and the like. I can't really think of the rest of them off the top of my head, but you see where I'm going with that. So I've decided, because we have just under 8 weeks until Christmas, that I'm going to start decluttering my home, because it is my hope that I will be able to at least entertain in small capacities this Christmas. Now that I can't believe this is going to be the second Christmas in this pandemic, but that's a whole other strain of thought. But carrying on with that theme, it is my hope that I will be able to do some entertaining or at least see my family this year for Christmas. So I really want my house in tip-top shape. And at this time of year, I like to do, there's always spring cleaning. I like to do cleaning once a season. It's sort of the way I prefer to do things. But get into those nooks and crannies and those areas that we don't tackle on a weekly or monthly basis. That's what I like to do once a season. So I'm starting that off with, because you cannot clean clutter. If you try and clean clutter, the only thing you're doing is moving clutter. So you got to get rid of the clutter first. So I'm creating a decluttering and a de-stashing sort of my house checklist today. I've got 10 areas of focus, and I figure because we have just under 8 weeks until Christmas, I should be able to pull off. There will be some weeks, because what is on the agenda will be fairly small, but other ones, that will just be my focus for that 1 week. So I'm just setting up, and because I haven't set up alphabet letters this way in a couple of weeks, my brain wasn't functioning, and I tried to do this. I'm like, why isn't this working? Because I wasn't using my standard go-to on setting this up. So right now I've got an old sticker sheet stacked on top of wax paper, and I'm trying to line up these letters. The problem being is I can't really see where the letters are going through the sticker sheet, which is why I generally always do this with wax paper. And shortly, here in a moment, here it comes, I realize why it's not working. This is the way I do it. So I fold the wax paper kind of in on itself, and then I will line up the stickers on the edge, the folded edge, because I can not only see through it, but I also have the ability to lay them down along that edge. Like sometimes I'll do it with the wax paper and the sticker sheet, but this I find works a bit better because it's one less step, if that makes sense. I don't know, I suddenly thought of this. I'm like, this is brilliant. I'm just going to do it this way from now on. A couple of weeks ago, that was not filmed. It was something else I was making, but I was like, all right, this is my new go-to for doing this. So I'm just lining up the letter stickers along the edge of that wax paper edge. The edge. Dear Lord. It's one of those days, apparently. Anyways, so now that we've got them, I decide I don't like them that close together. So I'm frustrated with that. So I start peeling them all up. They do end up down on the sheet, but I finally decide to pull out my tweezers. I was being stubborn and I'm like, I don't need my tweezers. Yes, I did. It's a lot easier to place them when my fingers are not in the way. Now, they didn't end up perfectly straight, but the way they did end up, I opted to just leave them because they add a little bit of character, especially with the decor stickers that I have planned on using out of the Green Seasonal book for this spread. So we've got the word, well, we've got Christmas down. I had to, the C stuck to the wax paper. So I put the C back down. Now we're going to do the same process and I'm going to line up declutter. So I'm just putting the letters onto the back of my hand because I find it's a little bit easier to use the back of my hand instead of having to fight with wax paper or, a sticker sheet. They're there. I just, reach over, grab them with the tweezers and, Bob's your uncle. We're golden, right? So we're just spelling out declutter. And then I line it up and lay it down right underneath the word Christmas because the words are pretty much the exact same size and it looks smart. And again, with declutter, the letters didn't quite end up perfectly aligned, but I decided I liked it. It added just enough character that it's a little funny. Not funny in a ha-ha way, but no, it's not. Well, it's funny in a ha-ha way. When you see the stickers that I use, you'll understand. I'm using the little, the string lights and the kids and the Christmas tree and some presents is the route I end up going. I do start out pulling a bunch of stickers out of the Christmas Joy sticker book. But once I got the boxes laid down, they didn't really work. So we're just in colorful boxes right now because once again, I'm of the mind frame. It's easier to lay down the foundation and decorate around it than trying to fit them in after, or fit the boxes in after the fact. So I'm pulled off 10 boxes. Now, we have a bit of a struggle bus here because for some unknown reason, I had a heck of a time getting these boxes lined up. I do get them all laid out. Then I decide I don't like them because they're spaced too closely together. I think in my mind, I was thinking I had bigger boxes, which is why I did space them as close together as I did. But realizing I had smaller boxes, so I finally get them all figured out and the amount of dots that need to be between them and realize that they're too close together. So I got nothing, people. It was just, one of those days. As you can see, I'm fidgeting with it and then I'm trying to get it an upright view to see if it is actually aligned. And I was having a struggle getting them lined up with some of the dot grid. And I realized it wasn't the dot grid and it wasn't me. It's that the borders on these boxes are not completely straight. They got cut kind of funky. So I was like messing around with it and I've lifted them up and I realized, oh, it's actually a heavier border on one side than it's narrower on the other. Okay, that makes sense on why it doesn't look straight. It's not me, it's not the dot grid, it's the boxes. Yeah, here's where I decide I have them placed way too close together for sort of the aesthetic I'm looking for, and we lift them all up except for the top 3 because those can stay. And then I start shifting things around. So I decided to put in the last box I wanted first and then move up from there to gauge the spacing that was going to be needed between them. And this takes a bit, not horribly long, but a little bit. This is, I think, where most of this plan with me ended up being a long process, was playing around with the boxes, lifting them up, shifting them around. Like, I've never done, I've never filmed creating creating something from scratch ever. So I wasn't sure exactly how long it was going to take. And I think it would have been a lot faster had I had a little bit more foresight with boxes. It wouldn't have taken as long as it did. And this is actually sped up like 2.5 times. So if that gives you a gauge, like, it looks like I'm, moving at sort of a normal speed there. I'm not. Those boxes just about busted me. So here's where I'm in the Christmas Joy book, and I realized that when I stuck these back down last year, I stuck them down onto the backing. I didn't realize the backing was still there. So I had to fight with a couple of the stickers to get them up, but I got them up. But I didn't end up using them anyways. So they just ended up having to go back home. I've just decided to take the backing off so I don't make that mistake again when I put the stickers back onto the sheet later, right? So I'm just flipping through to see if there's anything in the Christmas Joy that I really want to use, and there's not much. That book's pretty functional and decorative functional, but not so much on the decor. So we are now in the we're in the other Christmas Joy. We are in the other Christmas Joy because I've got a couple of copies of this book because I picked them up from Michael's last year on clearance. So I got them for a really good deal. So I've opted to move the gift that is in that quote. The quote says there's no time like the present, which I thought was a very appropriate quote for a declutter list, especially as it relates to Christmas. So I just decided that I moved the present. I didn't want him on that end. I wanted him on the other side. This is where, we always make our stickers work for us. So I'm laying in these string lights, and I think this is why I was a sucker and I bought so many of these. I think I bought 6 copies of the green seasonal book, and it's primarily for this decor. The cute little string lights and all of the little cute elements that are within those books. It is definitely a classic. It's like, the book still says Create 365 on it, which shows the age of that sticker book. But from a cute decor standpoint, they're really cute. They're super cute. I think that's why I ended up I picked them up for I think $3 a piece at Walmart. Was it last year? Yeah, it must have been last year because I've only been planning for 2 years. So it's not like I can go back very far in memory there and go, oh, it was 2 years ago. No, it's this is finishing my second year with Happy Planner anyways. Prior to Happy Planner, I would buy a planner every year with the intention of using it and big goals and dreams and aspirations, and 2 to 3 weeks into the new year, never touched it again. So, and I've tried every kind of planner out there. I've done coil bound, I've done other the regular I don't know what they're called, the dot grid style books. What do they call those? Bullet journals. Oh, dear Lord. Bullet journals. I've tried the Passion Planner. I've tried the Panda. I've tried them all. And none of them stuck. I didn't even know Happy Planner existed until I walked into Staples the end of December of 2019. And it was on the end of the rack, and I went, what's that? And I picked it up, and it was a dashboard planner, and I went, this looks amazing. So I bought the planner, paid way too much for it, by the way, because I didn't know any better. It was at Staples. I didn't know there was other options at Michael's. But yeah, I loved it. But the problem is it had that pink flippin' box in them. It was just, no. So then I went and I bought the Planner Girl planner, and I was in that for a while, and I tried what's the other one I bought? It was a lined vertical Glam Girl. Is it Glam Girl? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, it was the Glam Girl planner, and again, they were great, but the color on the pages drove me absolutely insane. But that spring, like March of 2020, Happy Planner came out with the Wild Styled Planner, and I got my hands on it and started using it right away. I didn't wait. It was like, nope, I'm in, and I haven't looked back since. I mean, I've picked up, as you've seen in the D-Stash video yesterday, I picked up a lot of planners on clearance because I either wanted the covers or I was going to try them out for certain things, and they were a low expense, so I could kind of justify it if I didn't like it. But I have to have a neutral planner. I can't have color on my planner. So we are just setting it up. I got the boxes laid in. We've got some foundational pieces down. Now is the fun part. I've been adding little pieces of decor, and I put in the string lights, and I put in some mistletoe, and I put in the girls, and I put in the presents and whatnot. So now there was a jump there. And what I did is I filled it in off camera, and the picture will be on Instagram, so you can head on over there and look at it. And I'm filling in little check boxes, which are coming out of the journaling planner, the journaling sticker book. I love that sticker book. It's great. It's got all kinds of functional little pieces in there, and it works really well for black and white as well. Again, the cut borders on them are absolutely ridiculous, but I wasn't going to be finicky with these ones, especially when they're going onto white paper. But that's what we're doing now, is just wrapping up. And once we get those final few boxes laid down for the check boxes, we will be done, friends. And that is it. I wanted to say thank you again, you guys. You got me over 100 subscribers, which was amazing. And I can't believe it. I'm so grateful. Have a great week, you guys. We'll see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Ciao.